Hari Rama, Hari
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare.
Rama. So, Prabhuji, let me tell you a little bit about Parthasarthi. Since last almost 2.5+ years, when this corona hit and when everything was closed, when we could not even go to temples or have any gatherings, Parthasarthi started this online Zoom temple. And normally when you see on Zoom or any online platform, there was a lot of classes going on, but everything was in English. So Parthasarthi started Nitya Bhagavad Seva in Hindi every morning, which is around 8:30 a.m. in US time and 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So since 2.5 years, it's been going on every day, and there have been many speakers, many Maharajas and many speakers and great devotees have also come and spoken on this platform. So it's always been going on. And I think yesterday there was a Prabhuji, Radhakant Prabhu from Vrindavan. He mentioned that, one great unique thing about Parthasarthi is many platform has now closed down because COVID has now, stopped and everything is in person. But Parthasarthi is still going. And besides that, Parthasarthi is also doing this youth classes, youth awareness in the evening, once a week. So there is a lot of things Parthasarthi is doing. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining Parthasarthi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhavagrahi Govinda Prabhu, for giving this kind introduction. And Harilila Prabhu for inviting me here. And also Prema Priya Padma Mataji for coordinating this event. And all the youths who have joined here today for this program. It's my morning here and it's evening there. Anyways, so thank you for joining. So today we have been given the topic of, or they give topics, I chose this one, managing the mind menace. So I'd like to discuss something about this, mind menace. It's a very relevant topic, especially for the youth, because the mind becomes very stormy at times, very uncontrolled at times. And those are the critical moments when we have to have mind control in order to stabilize ourselves and to go on with life in a peaceful way. So we'll try to discuss this. I'll just start with a short prayer. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarani Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I can take this topic in two different ways. Yesterday's, incidentally, the same topic was there in one college, T. John's College, that invited me. So, and I spoke the same topic, but that was very, very new audience. So I had used a PowerPoint presentation which His Grace Radheshyam had made. But here I would like to discuss the same topic in a different way because people have been attending many sessions before also. So some of you are already well aware of this philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So I thought I'll discuss the mind in the form of an acronym. So the mind.
Hare Krishna. I will just request all the youth if they can show up their face on the, can keep the camera on, so that way people can recognize them who they are. Hare Krishna. All the youth have their camera on. Hare Bol. Prabhuji, over to you.
Hare Krishna. So I'll discuss this, the topic of mind menace, managing the mind menace. with the acronym of MIND, mind. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about the mind, he says that the mind which is uncontrolled is the worst enemy, and the mind which is controlled becomes the best friend. So mind is best friend, and also it is the worst enemy. Just like mind is not good or bad. Mind is neutral actually. It depends upon how we use it, whether it becomes good or bad. So if mind is uncontrolled, then it becomes a maniac. It becomes a maniac, like a demon. Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha, or you see Ravana. He had 10 heads, maybe 10 minds he had, but with those 10 minds, he was creating havoc all over the universe. So if mind is uncontrolled, it causes menace. Just like a monkey. Monkey is the best example for a mind which is uncontrolled. So when monkey is sitting, actually it cannot sit peacefully in one place. If monkey is sitting in the room, in your room, can you be peaceful? What do you say? If there is a monkey, untied monkey in your room, we can't be peaceful because monkey keeps doing something. It will jump from one window to another window, or it will jump on you. It will take some bananas, some fruits. So you have to have a constant watch on the monkey. And sometimes you have to tie monkey. Yeah, Divya says, yeah, not peaceful. Correct. So the mind is like a monkey. It keeps jumping from one place to another. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayo rivashudushkaram. Arjuna is telling to Krishna that mind is so obstinate and so flickering that I cannot control the mind. I can control the wind, but it is difficult to control my mind. Now, if there is a storm, many storms keep coming every year. Katrina, Rita, there are different names they give. And recently there was one in India also. So can any one of you control the storm? Can you stop the storm which is coming, cyclone? It is coming? No. It's impossible, right? But Arjuna is telling, I can control that storm. How can Arjuna control that? Because in Dwapariga, people are so advanced, the kings are so advanced that they had such mind control, they had such powers with the mantras, they could shoot an arrow and stop the wind. Arjuna had different kinds of weapons. He had weapons which could produce a wind. He had weapons which could stop a wind. He had a weapon by which he could make a mountain. And he had another weapon by which he can break the mountain. With one weapon, he could produce fire. Another weapon, he could counteract the fire with water. So all such kinds of weapons he had. So Arjuna had learned all these weapons. But so that's why Arjuna said, I can control the wind. But mind, very difficult to control. Because the storms of the mind are very difficult to control. And sometimes it happens that Ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichhanapi varshneya baladyavanyochitaha. Unwillingly, a person is forced to commit some wrong activity. Unwillingly. He doesn't want to do it, but he is forced, impelled by some force within to commit a sinful activity. So what is that force? There is a force of the mind, because the mind is contaminated. So there is a contaminated mind which acts wrongly, which propels us to do wrong activities. And there is a controlled mind, pure mind, which makes us act in the right way. So I have a video here. I just downloaded it to show in the college yesterday. Mind is also like an elephant. So elephant, it can be a good friend. It can be a disaster also. It can cause disaster also. Right? Have you seen some elephants working with humans? Right? The elephants, they are going in the road. Peacefully, they can go on the road. And sometimes they bless also in Indian temples when you go. Sometimes the elephant puts a blessing on the head and you give it one rupee coin, it gives it to the owner. It can act very wonderfully, best friend of humans. But if the elephant goes wild, there are certain times when the elephant secretes in the brain, some liquid is secreted. At that time, the elephant becomes mad. And when it becomes mad, you see what happens. So everybody is running away. So it's breaking the shops. It's going into residences. It's scattering everybody. All thousands of people are scattered. People are running away from their homes. Sometimes it can topple autos, it can topple. See, the elephant is also injured. It's not that it is happy, It is also injured, but it's causing injury to others also. It's breaking homes. Breaking all the bikes. So do we want our mind to be like this? Yes or no? Do you want our mind to be like this mad elephant? Right. No, right? When you're nodding the head, yes, no, never. Because it causes harm to us and to others as well. Right? And were there situations in your life where mind acted like this? Acted like this wild elephant? Some situations like this in your life? Okay, somebody saying yes. There's some name called Dot. He's saying yes. It'll be nice if you can put your full name. Divya says yes, Prabhuji, sometimes. Correct. One boy became very angry because parents did not give him what he wanted. He wanted to buy some new cycle. When parents said, no, it's not good for you right now because you have not learned properly, so you'll go in the road and there can be accidents. Not now, later he can buy. He became so angry, he took a laptop and then hit it on the ground, broke it. Right? So he became angry. So mind acted like an elephant. And after breaking, he realized, it was worth thousands of rupees. Right? So in a fit of anger, you don't realize what you do. But later on we realize. That's called anger. Lakshmi is telling, when someone ill-treats or deals unfairly with us, then we become angry. Yeah, that happens. Right? When somebody mistreats us, we become angry. Why is he dealing with me like this? That's also one of the topics we will try to discuss today. Yeah. So I began writing this acronym, right? Mind. One of the natures of mind is it makes assumptions or judgments. That's one of the nature of the mind. It keeps making assumptions and judgments. So we see something, or we hear something, and suddenly we start making judgments. This is one of the natures of the mind. Right? Just like see here. A very interesting video.
Patient has a fractured fibula. Given him a mild sedative, so he can be able to go on tomorrow.
Daddy's gonna be so excited.
All good.
That killed him.
Paging Dr. Palmer.
You know what happened there? So the doctor, he killed the fly, but he uttered that statement at the wrong time when the family was entering. So they said, I killed him. So they're shocked. So what they assumed? What the family assumed? They assumed that the patient is killed, the father is killed. So don't make judgments quickly. Similarly, I have many videos. I'm showing this because it makes the concept.
Hey, you got to get down. Come on.
So he is coming home and making nice arrangements for his wife.
AmeriQuest Mortgage.
Interesting. So interesting here that she judged, and the wife thought the cat was very dear to the wife. The cat was really cute, right? The cat was really cute. But somehow it came in the hand of this man, and then there was a knife also in the other hand because he was cutting vegetables. So the wife saw the cat and saw the knife, and she connected. He is killing my cat. Right? So we should, sometimes such kind of things may happen. So what we should do is don't judge immediately. Give some time to register. Why? Is it really true that he wants to kill a cat? Just ask a question. What is this? What are you doing? Right? One response can be, you are killing my cat. Oh, I hate you. I get out of my home. I'll never meet you again. I'll never talk to you. So that can be one response. So another response can be, what is this? Can you please explain? So you can just ask a question and give some time for others also to explain rather than making snap judgments. So mind makes assumptions and judgments, and because of which we can be in disaster. For example, there is another story in Srimad Bhagavatam about Chitraketu Maharaj. There is a great king called Chitraketu Maharaj. So he was flying in the sky on his aerial mansion with many, many Gandharvas doing kirtan. So then he came to Kailash Parvat. Near Kailash Parvat, Shiva was sitting in a seat, and on the lap of Shiva was sitting Parvati. And Shiva was giving a lecture, a sermon to all the rishis who were sitting there. And Chitraketu Maharaj came, and then he saw the scene that Shiva is sitting with his wife Parvati on the lap, and they're giving a lecture. It's very interesting because nobody gives lecture like this. Maybe wife may be sitting next, but sitting on the lap here. So then Chitraketu Maharaj smiled, he laughed at this scene. And why Chitraketu was laughing? He was laughing because Shiva is so great that only he can do this. He's so sense-controlled, he's so sober, and his mind is so pure that he is capable of giving such a lecture. So that's why he was smiling. And Durga Devi saw, Chitraketu, you're smiling at us. Maybe she thought that Chitraketu is insulting Lord Shiva by smiling like this. So then she immediately gave a curse to Chitraketu Maharaj, and you will be born on earth in the Asura race, you'll become a demon. So then Chitraketu Maharaj, when he heard this curse, he immediately bowed his head and said, whatever you say, let it happen, my dear mother. Durga Devi is the mother of the entire world, right? And Shiva is like the father. So both of them, they maintain all the living entities in this planet. So Chitraketu Maharaj bowed the head. And Shiva said, see, the devotees of Narayana. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana vibhyati swargaparga narkeshu apitulyartha darshana. So the devotees of Lord Narayana are so humble that even being cursed, even he has to become a demon in the hell, still he is so undisturbed. This is the quality of a great devotee. So here we see one example of judgment, wrong judgment. So that's the first thing. Then second point, if you have any questions, you can ask before we go ahead. Maybe you can put on the chat also. If there are any questions, you can take before I go to the next point. If there are no questions, I'll go ahead. Then second one is, it imagines problems. Right? Sometimes it imagines problems, or sometimes it imagines success also. Right? So, and while doing imagination, it stops being in the present. It goes either in the past or it goes to the future. It's not in the present. Right? So there is lamenting about the past and start worrying about the future. That's what is happening. Past and future. So imagines problems. So there was a boatman. There is a boatman, and he had this from Bhakti Siddhanta Sarthi story. Once a boatman was rowing his boat along a thorny river bank. So in Bengal, the river banks, and sometimes the river banks may be thorny also. And his soles of his feet were cut because of thorns. And the boatman thought to himself, I'm not able to walk properly because of the cuts by the thorns. If I could make lots of money by towing the boat, I could spread a long foam cushion all along the riverbank so that my feet would not be cut by the thorns. Thus, my towing business would be more efficient as I'll be able to walk more comfortably. So the mind is imagining a solution, but this is not the appropriate solution. If he becomes rich, does he really have to tow the boat? Right? Does he still have to do the boating business? No, he can have a fleet of boats and he can employ other people to tow the boats and he can just keep counting money, isn't it? He doesn't have to do it himself. But mind is thinking, oh, even if I become rich, still I'll continue towing the boat. So there's no need of towing the boat. Divya says, that's right, there's no need of towing the boat. Right? So it's imagining, he has a problem, but he is imagining a solution which is not appropriate. There's another story of a milkman. So there's one milkman. So he was very poor. He had only one, actually he had nothing in his home. So he was thinking that I have to do some business. His wife was telling him, do some business, get some money home. We don't have anything easy. We don't have anything to eat. Daily we have to struggle for survival. So this man thought, okay, what I should do? And he said, he thought that he was collecting milk and selling milk. That was his business which he was doing, but he was getting very less money. So then he had kept that one pot of milk nearby, and then he was resting, and then he started thinking what I should do. He said, I'll sell this milk and I'll make some money, little money. With that, I'll buy one cow. And when that one cow comes, then I will take care of it. I'll give the grass, and then I'll take care of it and it'll give more milk. So I'll sell more milk. Then I'll get more cows. Then I'll get more and more milk. Then I'll get more money. Then I will build a nice home. then I'll have many servants, then my wife will have nice silk garments and ornaments. And in this way, we'll be very happy. In this, he was dreaming. So while dreaming, one cow entered his home in the dream, and it came inside. So, and it was spoiling the home, puts cow dung and other things. So he wanted to chase it away. So in the dream only, he picked up a stick, and the stick was actually next to him. He picked up the stick and then wanted to chase it. Hut, hut, hut. And in dream only, he hit the stick like this, and the stick hit the milk pot, and the milk pot broke, and all the milk spilled. So what happened? He was just dreaming about success, but he was failing to act, and whatever little pot of milk he had, that also got wasted. So in this way, so mind imagines problems and it tries to imagine success, but it fails to be in the present. Generally, we lament about what happened in the past. Lamentation means we make statements like, if only I had access to this gadget, I would have been successful. If only my friends were cooperative, I would have got some notes, then I would have written the exam properly. If only I was in this college, if only, like this, we lament about what happened in the past. And we worry about the future. Oh, what if this happens to me in the future? Or what if I don't get admission in that college? Or what if I don't get this job? What if I get laid off from the job? So like this, one worries about the future. So one laments about the past and one worries about the future. So the mind is compared to a bird with two wings. One wing is the past, another wing is the future. So it's flying all over. So it's not in the present. So what we have to do, we have to cut the two wings. And then the mind will be in the present. So then we can focus on our present activity. Successful people are those who focus on what they are doing right now. They have multiple activities to do, but when they sit to work, they do one activity at a time. So then they can become successful. But those who are dreaming in the dream world, they fail to perform. So they cannot be successful. So you have to make the mind sit in the present. So that's the second point. And then third thing is non-cooperating. It doesn't cooperate with us sometimes, right? Especially students. They have to study, right? The goal of going to college is to study. But then mind doesn't like to study. It likes to watch a movie. It likes to play some video games and try to waste time. That is the nature of the uncontrolled mind. So these four symptoms are the symptoms of an uncontrolled mind. So it wants to do what it likes to do. And many times what we like to do may not be good for us. Right? Like a smoker, person who is addicted to smoking, he likes to smoke, but it's not good for him. So whatever we like may not be good for us. Like children, small child, it likes chocolate, but it's not good. It's not good for him. So, but it's very adamant, right? He wants chocolate. He likes it, but it is not good for him. So that's a non-cooperative. And if mind doesn't cooperate with us, we'll not be able to achieve success in our duties. So I give example of a student who wants to study but is not able to study. Similarly, there are bad habits which a mind may acquire. Like I was giving session in the college yesterday. So I asked the teacher, what do you want me to address? What is the challenge of the youth here? He said, see, they have come here for studies, but they are not interested in studies. So please inspire them so that they can study nicely. So why this happens? Because mind looks for flickering, mind looks for instant pleasure. Okay, so there is two things. So there is, okay, maybe I'll change the color. So there is Shreyas and there's Preyas. Shreyas means what? Long-term happiness. And Preyas means what? Short-term happiness. Okay. Or you can say instant happiness, instant pleasure. And Shreyas is what? Long-term happiness or pleasures. So mind always looks for, uncontrolled mind always looks for praise. I want to be happy now. What will make me happy? Eat, drink, be merry. That makes me happy. So let's eat, let's drink. Just do it. So that is praise. And then there is called as Shreyas. Shreyas is long-term pleasure which you get by sense control, following rules and regulations, following a disciplined life. That is Shreyas. But the materialistic mind, it wants only praise. So that's why mind doesn't cooperate in the path of Shreyas. That's what happens. So there is an experiment conducted by some scientists where they gave, that's called as marshmallow experiment. How many of you have heard of this marshmallow experiment? No? Okay. Okay, 2-3 of you have heard. Okay, I think others have not heard. Maybe I can find out that video. It's a very interesting video about how a group of youth or children they were subjected to a test. I'll show it here.
Okay, sit in that chair.
So children are kept in different rooms.
Marshmallow for you. You can either wait, and I'll give you another one if you wait, or you can eat it now. When I come back, I'll give you another one. So then you'll have two. But stay in here and stay in the chair.
So they'll be kept in a separate room with camera, and they have one sweet in front of them, and teacher will go out. She'll come back after some time. If he has not eaten, he will get a second sweet. If he eats this, he will not get the second one. So they have to control their senses. That's the test.
Back, okay? All right.
See how they are looking at the sweet. They don't know that camera is there.
I'm gonna go do something and then I'll come back.
Camera is hidden.
Yummy. It smells really good.
He's restless. He takes a bite.
All right, so it's up to you. You can have it now or you can wait. Okay? I'll be back. Stay in the chair, okay? Okay.
She eats it. Already she starts eating. So different kids have different response.
All right, so I'm gonna leave and then I'll come back, okay? So you can either eat it right now or you can wait. Either way, okay? Okay.
On the spot she's eating.
How'd you do? Did you do good? You did?
Yeah.
You wanted to eat it, didn't you? Yeah. So did I tell you to give you another one? Okay, now you can have both. You need them.
So the lesson here is that these kids, these innocent kids, young kids, they were tested not for one day, but for the entire journey of 20 years. They're identified and they're observed for the entire journey of 20 years. And in this experiment, those who showed great sense control, they went on to become great leaders, CEOs, politicians, great leaders of character. But those who were after instant gratification, praise means instant pleasures, they ended up in bad habits. They got caught up in bad habits and then they spoiled their life. So this goes to show that we should train the mind to control the bad urges and control the senses. Right. So that is the third point. And the fourth point is mind is very determined. So, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavad dhridam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, dhridam. So, dhridam means very obstinate, jiddi. Whatever it thinks, he wants it. That's called dhridam, very determined. Sankalpa, it's called Sankalpa. I want this, I want this. So like a child, when a small child, they want toys. Very obsessive. They want it. And after they grow up a little bit, they want bicycle. After they grow up a little bit, they want a motorbike. After that, they want a car. Then they want a wife or a girlfriend. And then they want some bungalow. Then they want some, like this, it goes on and on and on. So mind wants something. That's called as determined. Of course, determination is good. We should have it, but for the right cause. But the mind becomes determined for wrong things. So then that is very detrimental for its life. So what happens when the mind becomes determined for the wrong thing? He wants it. When he doesn't get, he becomes disturbed. He becomes very angry, and then he will show symptoms of anger. Let's show here symptoms of anger or distress. There's an old video, not good clarity, but you can still understand. You're working with this computer. You want some work to be done. It's not happening. He's becoming angry. His anger is building up now, like pressure cooker. So it may come out in very ugly ways. So you have to actually slow down the mind a little bit and control it. So then that determination can be channelized in a proper direction. Okay. So these are the 4 things about the mind. So first thing was it makes assumptions and judgments. I gave you some examples and showed some videos of how mind makes instant judgments. So we have to make it, we have to think and then act for that. And mind imagines problems. So it is in the past or in the future, lamenting about the past and worrying about the future. So we should keep the mind in the present. Right? How to keep the mind in the present? Do one activity at a time. Whatever you're doing, focus on that activity. Third point, mind is non-cooperative. It doesn't want to do austerities. It doesn't want to have a regulated life because the mind is more attracted towards instant pleasures, instant gratifications. So we should tell the mind, my dear mind, this is good for you. Like for example, studies is good for you, but mind may not like to study. So what we should do is tell the mind, it's good for you because if you study nicely, you'll get good job, you get good money, then you can be peaceful and happy. Then you can practice even spiritual life also very nicely. So in this way, we should convince the mind about this. And the 4th thing is, mind is determined, very dridam, that is sankalpa. So of course I forgot to tell one more thing. There is sankalpa and vikalpa. So mind sometimes does sankalpa, I want this. And after some time it says, I don't want this. Vikalpa. Same thing which it wanted, he will not now start hating it. That's called as vikalpa. That's also another nature of the mind. It's like you want a cycle. You get a cycle. And after 1 year, I don't want this. I want a bike now. So whatever you liked, you start hating it. Because there is something new which has come. Right? So you have phone, smartphone. When you buy newly, you like it, you fall in. But after 1 year, the models which are released, and you start hating this old one which you have, and you want a new one. Right? So sankalpa, vikalpa, even relationships, people start liking somebody, but when they find some faults or apparent, what's it called, which they don't like in him, it's hating that same person whom it liked. So sankalpa, vikalpa, accept and reject. So that's another nature of the mind. So how to control this mind, that's a very important thing. So Krishna says a solution. He gives a solution. What is that? Practice. Abhyasena ta kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. He says 2 things. Abhyasa. So that is the first one. And second one is vairagya. So what abhyasa means what? Practice. And vairagya means detachment. Right? Asamshyam mahabaho mano durnigram chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. So surely it is very difficult to control the mind, but by practice and detachment it is possible. What is practice? Practice means repeatedly doing the right thing again and again and again. Right? So, for example, waking up early in the morning is the right thing to do. But initially it may be difficult because people don't have that habit. But then keep practicing again and again and again. Then you'll get it. For example, even sports stars, they practice so much. Like those who are sprint runners, 100-meter race. So they practice so much. They put full energy. I heard that even Sachin Tendulkar used to practice one move about 10,000 times. Right? One stroke, 10,000 times. Right? Because that made him perfect. When you keep practicing every move, means good things repeatedly again and again, then you'll become master of it. Similarly, chanting also, Hare Krishna mantra chanting. Right? So initially it may be very difficult for the mind to accept chanting because mind wants to do instant pleasures, get instant pleasures. But chanting gives you long-term pleasure because that will give you the association of Krishna and the spiritual world. So initially the mind may not like to chant, but if you keep practicing on a daily basis, regularly, eventually the mind will start developing that taste for chanting and you'll like chanting actually. Right? So that's practice. You may not like to read spiritual books like Bhagavad Gita. Initially that taste may not be there. But if you get a novel like Harry Potter or some latest novels, one immediately jumps and reads it because there is some masala, some other stuff in that. So which mind is liking, right? And what are the stuffs in these books? Generally, there is violence, there is action, there is thrill, there is romance. So that's what mind likes to do, listen and hear or read. But if you dovetail it to read Mahabharata or Ramayana, there also there is action, there is thrill, there is suspense, there's love stories, everything is there. But that is in connection to Krishna. So that's purifying to the mind. So you have to practice giving up, practice doing the right things again and again. So that is first solution. Second solution Krishna gives is detachment. Detachment from wrong activities. So you have to do an activity that is, think of one thing which is disturbing you, one habit which is distracting you in your life. You don't have to tell it. Just think about that and note down. Maybe one thing can be like, oh, I sleep a lot in the daytime and I waste 2 hours. Maybe that may be one thing. Or sometimes people have a habit of finding others' faults and delighting in it. That may be one thing. Or some people have the habit of wasting money unnecessarily. So like this, there will be many patterns, many scripts, wrong scripts in the mind, which are not good for our life. So identify that one thing and make an attempt to give it up. Right? Make an attempt to give it up. So that is called as detachment. Okay. Detachment. So that's called as vairagya. Raga means attachment. Vairagya means detachment. Viraga. So when you detach yourself from these wrong activities, the mind will become more peaceful. So practice the right thing and give up the wrong thing. So for that, for doing this, it may be very easy to speak, but to do this, we need practical guidance also. We need good friends and good mentors who can help us because there will be challenges. Even the famous sports stars also have a coach. Why coach is required? Because there will be some moments of crisis when they need to have guidance. So similarly, while practicing this path of mind control, we'll have to have some guidance and good association by which this will become very easy. Okay. So this was what I wanted to share today. Basically, I discussed about the acronym MIND, and also I discussed about the solution, which is to practice and to detach. So in this way, we can control the mind, which is like a mad, wild elephant. So when the mad, wild elephant becomes tamed, it can become a very good friend. You can sit on the elephant and you can roam around the country without any fear. In fact, the mind will protect you. Just like if the elephant is your friend and you're sitting on the elephant, even if some wild animal, other animals come, elephant will drive it away. So similarly, when the mind becomes our friend, the mind will protect us. Mind will protect the soul from wrong distractions. Okay. So this is what I wanted to share. If anybody has any comments or queries, we can take one or two.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving such a nice, wonderful presentation regarding managing mind mains. So, Prabhuji, if you have some time, can we take questions from the youth?
Yes.
Okay. So, Would you be able to take questions from the listeners?
Hare Krishna, Divya Mataji, are you there?
Yeah. Somebody is asking, is there a direct email? Yes, I have my email ID.
Divya Mataji, please unmute yourself. You have any questions?
Yes. Sorry, Mataji. I forgot to unmute. Yes. Sorry, I could not unmute. Yes, I did not
Somebody
have
had asked for email ID. This is my email ID. sghdas.rns@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat as well.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
I
Mother.
wanted to say that. Yes, I wanted to say that the class was very wonderful. Like you explained very well the acronym of the minds and Shreyas and prayers. You explained. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That the class was very wonderful. I learned a lot from this. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And you explained some quotes from the Gita, like the verses of some verses from the Gita. That was also very wonderful. Like from. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, and we pronounce.
Thank you, Divya Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody have any question? Okay, so Prabhuji, might be there is no more questions. So if you want to say anything, wants to share anything in the end, so you can take it, or we have to wind up our call here. But your session is really very nice, Prabhuji. So we request you, please timely join to Parth Sarthi Foundation Forum and encourage the kids so they can also improvement their self, improve their Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji.
So if the kids have no queries, I'd request them to type on the chat or speak out one point which they liked in today's session. 1 point. You can speak or you can type it on the chat box.
Prabhuji, can I say?
Yes.
So you said about like the acronym of mind. So like the mind makes assumptions and judgments very quickly, like you showed about like the woman who had the cat. So she thought that the man was about to kill, but that was not actually true. And then the I was for imagines problems or success, like the boatman. And then N was that it's not cooperative, like kind of like the elephant, like it doesn't like very go that properly, like it doesn't cooperate with us, and we always have determination about like if we want to do something, we always want to do it, like we don't want to stop.
Yeah, correct. So determination should be directed to the right direction rather than for the wrong things. Yeah, correct. Thank you, Mehika. Yes. Anyone else want to share something? What you liked in? Okay.
Namoni, do you want to share something? Okay, Divya, you can ask. Hare Krishna.
I wanted to say that the videos which you shared of the marshmallow test and the other videos, small videos of a mad elephant, how he was reacting when the situation was not good. Like our mind should not be quiet like elephant. That point was very nice, and the acronyms of the mind which you shared. That was also very nice. That we should not judge others. That was also very nice. So quickly we should not judge. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Namoni, do you want to say something? Hare Krishna, Namoni. Please unmute yourself.
So I love the story of Milkman and how it helped to understand that I in the mind. Okay. So iPad Air 4, she's telling. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I had a question. Like in the acronyms of the mind, you explained that in the I acronym, we should like imagination should not go riots. So like imagination sometimes it is good for the mind. Like we should, it takes us towards
Yeah,
success.
correct. Imagination is good. So we have to imagination is in the sense that yes, we can plan for the future. Okay, my life is ahead. Next 2 years, what I'm going to do. Next 5 years, what am I going to do and achieve? The plan should be made, but worrying too much about it is not good. Okay, plan for the future, but act in the present. That's what we should be doing. But if people worry about the future, then they will stop acting in the present. So they'll not perform. Okay, performance is not good, then the practice is not good, then the performance will not be good. So you have to practice now, actually. So, and if the practice is good, your performance will be good, and result will automatically come. Right? So when you plan for the future, act in the present. Yes. So that's what the point I wanted to make.
So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So you should really imagine and plan for the future. But if you keep only imagining about the future, your performance will be affected. So that's why you should act in the present. That was the thought.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
I request you to keep visiting Parthasarathy Foundation for such nectar and such class. Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, there is iPhone said, Prabhuji, they shared their realization. I don't know the name, but they said their realization in the chat.
There's another iPhone who says, if the mind is controlled, then it can act as a friend and in turn protect us rather than being our enemy. Correct. I told about the elephant. Elephant can protect us if it is controlled. I also really like how you talked about prayers and shreyas. It is important for us to discipline ourselves and be tolerant for long-term happiness. Thank you so much for remembering us. Hare Krishna. This is Ananya. Thank you, Ananya, for your sweet comment. Hare Krishna.
As of now, Prabhuji, there is no more questions and realizations, Prabhuji. But please accept our request. Kindly join Prabhuji Parthasarathy Foundation so they can also develop their Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji, for giving me this service opportunity. Thank you so much.
You so
and
much,
thanks
Prabhuji.
to all.
Yes, so Prabhuji, if you allow, should we wind up our call here? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, I couldn't get the statement.
I'm saying, Prabhuji, if you allow, should we wind up our call here?
Yes, surely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Once again. Vancha kaltaruvasya kapa sindhu vaivacha patitana bhavyo vaishnavyo namo namo. Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again. Hare Krishna.